7 signs you have a very rare dual break-heal vibration. There's something different about you. You've always felt it. It's not just that you're sensitive. It's not just that you feel things deeper than others. It's that your presence seems to do something strange to people. Either they rise or they rupture. You walk into a room, and without saying a word, someone starts confessing things, or lashing out, or breaking down, or transforming. You're not always sure why. You're not trying to cause anything, but it happens anyway. And for most of your life, you've probably blamed yourself for it, thinking, maybe I'm too much, or why do people either love me or avoid me? But what if I told you it's not a flaw? What if I told you it's a sign of something rare, something sacred? You might be carrying what I call the dual break-heal vibration. This vibration is not common, it's not comfortable, and it's definitely not for the faint of heart, because it means your energy field carries a double frequency, one that reveals illusions and catalyzes healing simultaneously. You don't just uplift people, you disrupt them. You don't just comfort, you confront. Your energy exposes what's hidden, even when you don't try. And that's why most people can't handle you. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because you're wired to crack open the unconscious patterns around you. Your presence literally shatters false timelines. And in that shattering, healing becomes possible. The first sign that you carry this vibration is that people often experience intense emotional reactions around you without any logical reason. You've seen it. Someone meets you and suddenly feels like crying, or gets irrationally angry, or feels a strange sense of déjà vu. That's not random. That's your frequency activating their unprocessed data. It's like your energy scans the people around you and reflects back the parts of themselves they've been avoiding. And because most people aren't ready to face that mirror, they either run, project, or surrender. You've probably lost friendships, relationships, or jobs not because you were toxic, but because your vibration was too honest for the lie they were living. The second sign is you've had to break before you could heal. Not once, often many times. You've experienced betrayal, heartbreak, collapse more than most. And each time you thought it would destroy you, it actually recalibrated your soul. That's the paradox. You're not just a healer, you're a breaker of illusions. And the universe had to forge you in fire so that your energy could hold others through theirs. Every breakdown you've survived wasn't a punishment. It was a training ground. Because only those who have shattered can hold space for others who are shattering. You weren't meant to just help others feel better. You were built to help them wake up. And awakening is messy, violent, sacred, real. The third sign is that you often feel like you're in between worlds. You're not fully in the light, but you're not in the dark either. You walk both. You understand pain and transcendence. You've touched the void and returned. You've questioned everything: the system, your identity, your beliefs, even your own sanity. And yet you always come back clearer, sharper, wiser. That's because your frequency doesn't belong to a polarity. It belongs to the bridge. You are the in-between, the paradox, and that's what makes you powerful. You can talk to the ones who are lost in trauma and still channel the energies of higher realms. You can cry with someone one moment and download truth codes the next. You're not here to be one or the other. You're here to be both. The fourth sign is that your presence either awakens or agitates people. There's rarely an in-between. You've probably been told you're too intense, too honest, too deep, or too much. But those words are just projections from nervous systems that aren't ready to be recalibrated. Your vibration carries a kind of raw spiritual electricity. It's not soft, it's not always gentle, but it's real, and realness is rare. Most people build their lives on layers of emotional armor. When your energy field touches theirs, it sends a surge through their system, and suddenly they feel everything they've been avoiding. That's not your fault. That's your function. And maybe no one told you this yet, but I will. You are not here to be liked. You are here to be a frequency disruptor. Let me ask you a question that might shake your foundation. What if your very presence is the medicine and the purge at the same time? Because that's what this vibration is. It's not a role. It's not a label. It's not even a mission. It's a frequency blueprint embedded in your soul. You're not just here to inspire. You're here to shake the system loose. You're here to activate truth in others, even if it means they scream, cry, project, or run away. That's why your life has been so intense. That's why your nervous system has had to evolve faster than most. That's why you've often felt like you're carrying a weight no one else can see. Because you are. We're only getting started. These first 4 signs are only part of the map. But in the next part, we go deeper. You'll learn how this vibration affects your relationships, your creativity, and the way reality bends around you. You'll see why you've always felt out of place, and why that's actually your greatest power. And you'll finally understand the sacred reason behind the chaos you've survived. Now that we've uncovered the first 4 signs of the dual break-heal vibration, you're probably already beginning to see patterns in your life that never made sense before. Patterns of intensity, of emotional chaos, of sudden spiritual clarity followed by collapse. And maybe you're finally realizing it's not that you're cursed. It's that your soul carries a code that not everyone is ready for. You are not here to smooth the waters. You are here to stir them to awaken what's been sleeping. And that awakening is not always pretty, but it is always sacred. The 5th sign is that your relationships are often short-lived, intense, and deeply catalytic. Whether romantic, platonic, or professional, your connections tend to accelerate people's evolution or their unraveling. You've probably had people tell you, "I've never felt this way before," or "You changed my life," or even "I can't be around you anymore. It's too much." That's not ego. That's the reality of your field. You don't do surface level. Your soul doesn't allow for masks. So when someone steps into your energy, their own frequency either rises to meet yours, or it shatters under the weight of suppressed truth. That's why you trigger people without trying. That's why they sometimes ghost you, lash out, or suddenly shift. It's not rejection. It's a spiritual reaction. And here's the deeper truth. When you carry the break-heal vibration, you don't just enter relationships, you activate them. You become a living mirror, a catalyst for karmic completion, a final boss in someone's soul contract. Most people don't know what to do with that. They think they're falling in love, when really they're falling into themselves through you. Or worse, they think you're breaking them, when your vibration is actually revealing the cracks that were already there. And if they're not ready to face them, they'll blame you for the earthquake their soul secretly asked for. The sixth sign is that you often feel like you're not allowed to just be. There's always some unspoken pressure around you, either to lead, to heal, to explain, or to hold space. Even in groups, you're the one people look to. Even in silence, your energy speaks volumes. And honestly, that can be exhausting. You didn't sign up to be a guru. You didn't ask to be a therapist in every room. But your frequency doesn't wait for permission, it just works. It scans. It shifts. It alchemizes. And while that's a gift, it can also be a burden when you haven't learned how to manage it. That's why so many dual break-heal beings end up in cycles of burnout. Because we've been conditioned to give, to hold, to carry, without ever being taught how to receive, reset, or recharge. But here's what I've learned the hard way. You cannot heal others sustainably while betraying your own energy needs. You must become as skilled at protecting your field as you are at radiating your essence. Otherwise, your gift will eat you alive. You'll start resenting the very people you came to help. You'll collapse under the weight of your own light. And you'll wonder why your body, mind, and spirit feel like they're constantly at war. The seventh and final sign is both the most powerful and the most mysterious. Reality bends around your nervous system. You've seen it. When you're clear, aligned, and grounded, things just work. People show up. Opportunities appear. Time flows. But when you're fragmented, overstimulated, or emotionally distorted, chaos ensues. Electronics glitch. Miscommunications increase. People around you act strangely. Why? Because your vibration doesn't just reflect the field, it modulates it. You are an energetic amplifier. You pick up the signal of the room, the timeline, the collective, and you enhance it. This is why your inner state is not just personal, it's architectural. It builds or breaks the field around you in real time. This is the sacred power of the break-heal vibration. You're not here to fit into reality. You're here to reprogram it. But that reprogramming starts with you. You can't expect coherence in your environment if you haven't established it in your own system. That's why nervous system regulation is not just a health practice for you, it's a spiritual technology. Breath work, cold exposure, meditation, embodiment, all of it becomes code work for beings like you. Because your nervous system is the modem through which you transmit your frequency. And when it's scrambled, your field becomes chaotic. But when it's clear, you become a living transmitter of truth. So I ask you a question that most people will never ask themselves. What would your reality look like if you treated your nervous system like a sacred temple instead of a battlefield? Because when you do that, when you begin honoring your system as the divine hardware it is, everything changes. Your body becomes a portal. Your emotions become messengers. Your intuition sharpens. Your relationships stabilize. And your vibration no longer just breaks and heals others, it begins to break and heal reality itself. Let's take this in for a moment. You are not broken. You are not too much. You are not unstable. You are carrying a rare and sacred frequency that few understand. But the ones who do will never forget you. Because once someone has felt your field, even for a moment, they are never quite the same. You are the earthquake and the balm, and the fire and the water, the storm and the stillness. You are the paradox that awakens the soul. But we're not done. The architecture of awakening, how to wield the break-heal vibration to build new realities. Now that you understand what the break-heal vibration is, and how it has shaped every part of your life, from your relationships to your nervous system, it's time to step into something far more powerful than awareness. It's time to embody the frequency. Because this energy you carry is not just a personal signature, it's a global technology. And when activated with intention, it becomes a blueprint for new realities. Not just for you, but for everyone around you. We live in a world that's collapsing under the weight of its own illusions. Systems are breaking. Institutions are crumbling. Truth is harder to find. And in the middle of all this chaos, there's you. A being who was designed to break illusions and heal distortions simultaneously. You are not here to survive the storm. You are here to architect the new world that rises after it. But you can't do that if you're still trying to make everyone comfortable. You can't do that if you're still doubting your frequency. You can't do that if you keep shrinking to fit into realities that were programmed to suppress your codes. So the first step in wielding the break-heal vibration consciously is this: radical permission. You have to give yourself full, unapologetic permission to be who you are: intense, paradoxical, catalytic, emotional, multidimensional. You have to stop filtering your frequency to avoid triggering others. Because your triggers are actually activation points, pressure valves built into the system to collapse false identities. Every time you water down your truth to make it easier, for someone else, you're delaying their awakening and betraying your own soul. That's not compassion. That's self-abandonment. The second step is energetic precision. Your field is powerful, but power without precision creates chaos. You must learn to tune your energy like an instrument. That means knowing when to break and when to heal, when to be fire and when to be stillness, when to speak and when to let silence do the work. This level of mastery doesn't come from books, it comes from embodied practice. Grounding, breath work, voice activation, shadow work, nervous system regulation. You must become a conscious conductor of your own frequency, not reactive, not scattered, but sovereign. And this is where most gifted beings get stuck, because they think their gift is automatic, but it's not. Your vibration is like a wild current of electricity. If you don't ground it, it burns you out. If you don't aim it, it short-circuits your reality. But when you become intentional, when you choose how and when to wield your energy, you don't just react to life. You reprogram it. And that's when magic begins. The third step is perhaps the most essential: sacred boundaries. You cannot hold this level of energy and still live like everyone else. You are not meant to be constantly accessible. You are not meant to engage in meaningless conversations, drain your nervous system in overstimulating environments, or surround yourself with people who fear their own transformation. Every time you say yes to what drains you, you're saying no to your mission. And your mission is too sacred to delay. So your boundaries must become ritual. Not walls, but filters. Not defense, but design. Who gets access to you is not just a social decision, it's an energetic contract. You must learn to ask yourself daily, does this person, this environment, this task allow my vibration to expand, or does it compress me? If the answer is compression, you walk away, not with anger, not with ego, but with reverence for your own frequency. The fourth step is quantum leadership. You are not here to follow trends. You are not here to copy spiritual language. You are here to transmit original codes. That means your work in the world, whether it's art, teaching, healing, speaking, or simply how you live, must become an extension of your vibration. You don't need a platform to lead. You lead by frequency. You lead by embodiment. You lead by being so unapologetically whole that others remember who they are in your presence. Leadership is not about being in front, it's about being in resonance. It's about walking into a room and, without saying a word, shifting the entire field. It's about broadcasting coherence in a world full of static. And you can only do that when your inner world is aligned, when your actions match your essence, when your words carry the weight of your walk. And finally, the fifth step, transcendent impact. When you begin to fully live the break-heal vibration, your life becomes medicine. Your presence becomes a prayer. Your story becomes a portal for others. You don't just talk about healing, you are the healing. You don't just teach awakening, you are the awakening. You don't just share truth, you become the tuning fork that makes lies fall apart. This is not a metaphor. This is literal. When you are fully aligned in your vibration, you activate dormant codes in others. Your voice becomes a carrier frequency. Your eyes become mirrors. Your silence becomes calibration. You walk through cities and alter timelines. You sit in coffee shops and recalibrate strangers. You dream, and your dreams affect the quantum field. This is the secret the world never told you. You are not just a person. You are a transmitter of planetary recalibration. So I'll leave you with one final question. If you knew your energy had the power to heal or break the very structure of reality, how would you walk through the world tomorrow? Would you keep dimming your light? Would you keep doubting your fire? Or would you finally rise not as a savior but as a signal? Because that's what you are. You are the vibration that breaks illusions and heals truth. You are the paradox that awakens the system. You are the rare frequency that the matrix cannot decode. You are not here to be understood. You are here to be felt. And now, the world is ready.